If you want to know the latest working farming methods in 1.9.0, you are in the right place. I've tested more than 30 of the major farming methods in the game to give you the best, latest and working ones currently, so I can save you the guesswork and a lot of time to let you focus on the things that matter and will give you progress in the fastest time possible. Before we begin, keep in mind that the PS5 is a whole new playground when testing all of the major farming spots in the game. So if you are playing on a PS5, make sure to set the graphics mode to performance mode, as this will allow you to continue some of the dead unlimited farms on this list that PC players don't have access to. And like for example, the infinite spawning chest farms across the world that have a chance to work on PS5 but not on PC. I have tested all of these chest farms on PC personally, and I will be giving you the locations of the major ones. And there are multiple farming spots where you can find these chests as mentioned, and the popular one is the Ashen Rift Crater or the location in Crimson Desert. And the nearest Abyss reset is the key reset point of this method. From the Burning Crater, just gain height by pulling up multiple aerial force palms and head to the nearby deep hole for your location. This pass offers 3 high-level chests for you to farm that usually give tier 1 Abyss gear and more. And of course, PC players can no longer take advantage of this method since 1.8.0 even when fast traveling back to the nearest Abyss reset, or trying the reset method by accessing the nearest out-of-bounds area and exhausting the time. But if you are a PS5 player, there's a high chance that you still have this farm, so farm away to your heart's content. Crimson Wall chest can be found near the Cloister of Enlightenment, and the Abyss Nexus on the screen right now is the main reset checkpoint. From the Abyss Nexus, head to the marker where it is heading, and this will lead you to a fissure or a chasm. The chasm below will lead you to the location of the chest. Opening the said chest and fast traveling back to the nearest Abyss Nexus will reset the chest before 1.8.0, at least on PC. But even in the latest version of the game, which is 1.9.0, I can confirm that it is no longer the case. Another respawning chest can be found in Serpent Marsh, situated very near an Abyss Nexus. Access the wooden log near the Nexus to open up the chest, but as soon as you fast travel back to the checkpoint, the chest will remain open, at least on the PC side of things. The Arborea Castle chest farm was one of my favorites since this chest farm can give you chewy rice cakes, a high level food to take advantage of, and not only that, this chest is one of the fastest sources of water in the game. The chest can be found very near the key checkpoint for this spot, but fast traveling will no longer respawn the said chest and will be permanently open, at least on the PC side of things. So if you are playing on a PS5, you do have a chance to respawn this chest, so make sure to take advantage of this one while it lasts. Abyss Cell's unlimited farming spots are not consistent across the board since PS5 players can still take advantage of these methods. The Wishwood region offers a spot where you can farm Abyss creatures that usually spawn in the past. The method here basically is not to kill the big version of the said creatures and focus on the small ones instead. Once the majority of the small Abyss creatures are dead, leave at least one and let the big one swallow you. And reviving at the checkpoint will respawn all of the small ones that you've killed. But in the latest version of the game, which is 1.9.0, even if you let yourself be eaten alive by the big ones, the small ones don't come back, at least on the PC side of things. I've been receiving reports that PS5 players can do this unlimited farm when setting the graphics mode to performance mode as mentioned. Another good spot is the Turquoise Rock Pool area near the town of Varnia. This spot is of course dead for PC players, while PS5 players might still have a chance to do this farm. As I always say, even if all of the Abyss Cell spots are dead, your Grey main camp is more than enough to give you an unlimited supply of Abyss Cells. So the dying of the spots is not actually a big loss for PC players. The Brimstone spot in Deadfire Mountain is very much alive and offers an unlimited amount of Brimstone crabs in 1.9.0. The Abyss reset, located in the center of the spot, will allow you to respawn the said crabs and allow you to farm an unlimited amount of Brimstone for your platinum crafting needs. I suggest having unlimited explosive arrows to streamline this farm, and you can do this by equipping infinite multiple arrows Abyss gears. The Rubber Unlimited farm on the other hand is finally dead, at least on the PC side of things in 1.9.0. The location on the screen right now, or the Stone Crab Wetlands, is the starting point of the rubber farming since there's a rubber tree situated near the location. The rubber tree in question oozes with white liquid, and you only need a magic site to farm the substance directly. Then you can just fast travel back to the nearest Abyss Nexus and come back for more. In my previous testing during 1.8.0, some of my saves could farm unlimited rubber, but in 1.9.0 or in the latest version of the game, all of my playthroughs were consistent across the board of not being able to replicate this method. But of course, it can be a different story for a PS5 player. This is not a huge loss for PC players, however. The farm, in my opinion, is almost more than enough solution for your rubber needs. And for the sake of data, I've still tested the best mercury farming spots across the map. Mercury ponds located in the Silver Wolf Mountain and near the Deadfire Mountain are still your best choices in the game. No changes were made during the cooldown period, as a player needs to wait at least 3 in-game days to replenish these ponds. If you want to learn how exactly these farms are working in great detail, or learn how to craft unlimited platinum, farm rubber and brimstones, I made a detailed guide that you can find in the description or by just clicking the card here. While the brimstone, rubber, and mercury multi-farm is still alive and working in 1.9.0. Find this spot in Skolastone, and pretty much all of you are aware of this by now. This is a method where you can use common animal hides to increase the trust of trolls in Skolastone, so they can give you either brimstone, rubber, or mercury, even faded abyss artifacts. But keep in mind that you will be maxing all of the trust of trolls in Skolastones, and eventually, you will be resorting to the best brimstones and other materials farmed that I just mentioned. But hey Samurai, where can I get unlimited animal hides? No worries about that, my dear viewer, and the location in Hernan on the screen right now is the spot where you can farm animals easily. Farm these animals near the Abyss Nexus, then gain a huge amount of skins, and make sure to stand on the Nexus to reset the spot without long loading times. And if you are getting value so far, subscribe to the channel. Liking the video and engaging in the comments helps me more than you can imagine. Or consider supporting us on Patreon or by becoming a channel member today, and I appreciate your support. Another unstable spot is the unlimited iron ore farming method on Stage Peak. This method will allow the player to farm stone crabs that drop a lot of iron ore, abyssals, and gears. The trick here was to concentrate on the small to medium stone crabs and letting the moss covered stone crabs alone so the other stone crabs will respawn. But in the last 2 to 3 patches, even if you killed only one stone crab in the area, the crab will never respawn, at least on the PC side of things. And there is a pretty high chance that this is still working on PS5, just like in the next method. PS5 players can take advantage of unlimited abyssals and bismuth ores by farming bismuth crabs in Drake's Fall Castle. But on the PC side of things, no matter what method I use to reset the bismuth crabs in the area, like not completely killing every pack or even just killing one pack at a time, this spot is officially dead for not respawning the crabs at all in the latest version of the game, which is not a big loss for PC players really. 1.9.0 best money farming methods incoming, and the gold bar stealing method in Deminis Wildlife Park is of course pretty much working. A method that will allow you to steal gold bars from nobles inside the park. I'm still using the farming route on the screen right now, and I tested the method yesterday. In just one instance, I managed to score 2 gold bars consecutively, proving the farm is alive and working. The Parma Leaf money farming will never suffer any kind of nerfs because these are legit features that a player can take advantage of. By just gathering every Parma Leaf spot across the map, which is 10 in total, you will still be getting 8,000 silver every 7 days. Key flower spots are Serpent Marsh Buddha, Southern Elder Tree, and the best one currently, the Red Tree Forest. But compared to the flower selling method, the golden apple farming is still by far a better option, allowing the player to craft gold bars in minutes. And for those who doesn't know, the golden apple hedgehog will allow the player to farm golden apples, and then use the golden apples to craft gold bars like candies. 2 main spots remain unbeatable even in 1.9.0. The first one is the Eastern Hill spot located in Delicia, and the area below the water tank in a bent position is where the golden apple hedgehog spawn. I will show you how godly this spot is even in the latest version of the game. Pay attention to my fast forwarded run in here where I scored a whopping 3 consecutive golden apples for a short amount of time. The Tarib spot for golden apples is working perfectly even after the patch. This spot can be found in the Gardens of Tarib where I am hovering in this recording. What I usually do here is form a circular motion in the garden when hunting the golden apple hedgehog. Another godly spot where I get 3 consecutive golden apples right off the bat, and you can clearly see it on the screen right now. But the best overall farming spot in 1.9.0 is still by far the time skip gold bar dispatch, combined with backing investment saves coming. Hold this thought for now as I will explain how it works later on this guide. The Serpent Shrine Gunners remain one of the earliest manual XP farming spots in 1.9.0, allowing you to gain tons of Abyss artifacts while also giving you the chance to stockpile pan-fried vegetables, a high-level food that gives you tons of HP and SP with every use. Find this amazing spot located in southwestern section of Delicia near the Dew Haven region. And not far from the Serpent Shrine's Gunner location, the Dew Haven Keep farming spot is one of the best working mid to late game XP farming spots in 1.9.0. Basically, this spot will allow the player to take a specific farming route to farm a lot of night enemies inside the Dew Haven Keep. But the banger here is that if you follow the specific route that I suggested, the elite team of Delicia is waiting for you at the entrance of the castle by the time you complete the said route. The Delician elite team captain is worth at least 1 Ice Walker per kill, and you can almost score 2 captains per attempt. The mid to end game City of Tomaso farming spots works perfectly in 1.9.0, and in fact, it looks like it even just got better. The Abyss Nexus on the screen right now is your starting point for this spot. From the Abyss Nexus, glide your way down to the nearest fighting ring and wear your bandit mask. Attack any soldier in the ring and position yourself in the middle of the ring to funnel all of the high level soldiers in the area. The Frost Mantle attacks, powered up by the Frost Shattering Abyss gear, can one-shot these guys in no time. And once they're all dead, there's also another fighting ring on the other side of the town. Follow the farming route shown here and basically, you can just go back and forth between the fighting rings to respawn all of the high-level soldiers. Just like in the previous method, the region of Tashkal will send their best men to hunt you, and the captain of the said team is also worth a whopping Ice Walker level of XP, which is on top of your high level XP gains from the soldiers in the area. But the crazy thing here is that I am getting Abyss artifacts as drops from these soldiers, and I am not really sure if this was only implemented in the latest version of the game, because I only started getting Abyss artifacts as drops after the patch. The Flame Knight's Castle serves as a reliable mid-game XP reblockaded spot in 1.9.0. This spot continues to be a stable way of getting Abyss artifacts, and not only that, a possible source of Abyss gear as well, and more into this later. Find this spot in the region of Demenes, located near the huge letter D of the Demenes landmark. Fort Hellwood and the other best reblockaded spots are working as intended in the latest version of the game. Great XP farming spots like the Bloodsteel Camp, where you can farm a ton of soldiers, which I also covered with a specific farming route. And of course, these are not the best overall ones, and I'm still working on new ones that I will be releasing very soon. And the famous Ice Walker farms that gave you tons and tons of XP in the past remains dead as of the moment for both PS5 and PC users, so don't waste your time checking them out. And there is no doubt that the Timeworn Ruins and the Bordic Ruins dispatch plus the time skip method is hands down the best artifact and money farming method in 1.9.0. What I usually do here is send my dispatch on Timeworn Ruins and Bordic Ruins as well. Then head to any time skip quest location, which is in this case is the Circus in Demenes, then skip the time to 9:30 PM. Then there's a bed in the tents that you can sleep for 12 hours to skip the time for 9 AM again. So you can use the circus time once again and so on. You'll be getting a lot of Abyss artifacts in this way, and as previously mentioned, you can farm gold bars simultaneously with this if you send a dispatch to Bordic Ruins. And a huge plus in here is you can earn as much as 20k silver from the banking investment alone if you maintain at least 40k silver in your bank. This does not count the gold bars that you can earn from the Bordic Ruins dispatch. And I will be covering this method extensively very soon, so stay tuned for that. The Stone Institute is a reliable source of Abyss artifacts if you are into stealing methods. The route is still being shown in the top right corner of the screen, and in just 2 consecutive runs, I have scored 3 Abyss artifacts, which is a good run. But of course, RNG is still at play here. And before we head to the final major farm, here's an overview of the current dead and working spots in 1.9.0. The chest farms are dead at least on PC, but there's a chance they are working on PS5. And the same thing applies to high-grade material farms for brimstones and mercury, which are working with a unstable rubber farming spot. All money farming methods are working without issues, along with the best manual XP Abyss artifacts farming spots. Stealing, of course, is still a viable approach, and time skip methods still remain the best methods across the board. There are really no big changes when it comes to Abyss gear farming in the latest version of the game, but I am happy to say that the best and the staple spots are still holding up even in 1.9.0. The 3 usual spots are the Frosthold Entrance, Frosthold Pass, and the best of them all, the Ice Watch Altar. Farming in one of these locations will allow the player to disarm the maces and shields of the Skull Knight followers. And keep in mind that you need a small shield and the enemy needs to hit you first before pressing the left bumper and the right trigger simultaneously to disarm targets. Make sure your pet is active so it can help you loot the Frostbone shields and the maces to speed up the process. Once you farm all of the shields and maces in the area, hop on your horse and leave the area until the enemy aggro drops. Then return again and notice that all of the shields and maces already respawn. One thing to note here when trying to farm the Skull Knight followers, you can be at peace with killing the rangers and the Frostbeater users and they will never respawn. Piling up the said shields and maces will allow you to extract tier 1 Malice Banes and Fortitudes. Then saves coming the results of your synthesis all the way to Tier 3 Abyss gears. If you want to master this method and have early Tier 3 Abyss gears in the fastest way possible, as always, this has a separate detailed guide which is linked in the description or find the video by clicking the card here. But what if you cleared the Frosthold spots? They don't reblockade in the same way, at least in all of my testing. So the Flame Knight Castle is a potential alternative. However, keep your expectation low since the Abyss gear farming spot in this area is simply not optimized. If you look closely, there are only a handful of soldiers in this spot who holds the blazing shields. The main issue that I have here is that disarming all of the soldiers with the blazing shields takes a lot of time because the spot is surrounded by other normal soldiers. Even if you manage to disarm the key soldiers with the blazing shields, it will also take you time tracking the lost shields even with your pet, since the pet can get normal weapons and shields. So it's not really an optimized farm in any way and use this only as a backup spot. More spots will be covered soon, but what if you want to know the best mid-game upgrades that will make you even more cooler and overpowered? This video will teach you everything you need to know, so click on it and I will catch you on the next one.